Bernie is somebody who has the virtue of saying exactly what he believes, great authenticity, great passion, and is fearless.
I don't think it is too much to say to the largest agency of the federal government that you have to pass an independent audit. There is nobody in the Senate who does not believe that there is massive waste and fraud at the Pentagon. Defense contractor after defense contractor has pled guilty to fraud. All that we're asking is that there be an independent audit of the Defense Department, and that be completed no later than fiscal year 2025. Not a very radical idea.
You recently tweeted about Elon Musk in support of him, suggesting that we should curb defense spending. What's the play here? This is someone who you've criticized previously. Do you see a potential partner in him?
In some areas, yes. In many areas, no. I mean, I think many of the things he did during this campaign were really ugly. On the other hand, he's a very smart guy. If somebody on the other side has a good idea, sure, we'll work with him. And if he goes out and says that the Pentagon has not been able to go through an independent audit, which is true for the last 7 years, that there's enormous waste in the Pentagon, he's absolutely right. Of course there is. I brought forth amendments over the years to cut Pentagon spending by 10%, which would still leave us, by far, with the strongest military in the world. So we need a strong military, but we don't need all the kind of the waste and the profiteering and the fraud that exists in the Pentagon right now. A lot of what RFK is saying is kind of crazy and driven by conspiracy theories. Some of what he's saying is not crazy. I think the fact that in America now we have an obesity epidemic, 40% of adults are obese, 20% of kids are obese, and that is directly related to the epidemic we have in diabetes. So you have millions and millions of people struggling with diabetes. Many of them are overweight, and it is costing us an estimated $400 billion a year to deal with diabetes, a huge amount of money. So it goes without saying that anybody with a brain in his or her head wants to deal with issues, get to the cause of the problem. And I think processed food and the kind of sugar and salt that we have in products that our kids and adults are ingesting is an important part of addressing that crisis. When Kennedy talks about an unhealthy society, he's right.
That's right, feel the burn.
If somebody on the other side has a good idea, sure, we'll work with them. Donald Trump came out with an idea during his campaign. He said, you know what? Credit card interest rates, which in some cases right now are 20, 25%, should not be higher than 10%. Well, you know what? I agree with that. So we're going to introduce legislation to do that. We'll see if Mr. Trump is prepared to keep his word. And we're looking forward, and we will work with some Republicans on that issue. So where, Trump and Republicans make sense, happy to work with them.
I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
You've disconnected from the hive mind. Explain.